bags, green tea. If you really want to be a environmental gorilla, you can take the tea out of the bag and just use the actual bag to create texture. But, oh, this one's not too strong, but you can also use green tea to stain your paper as well. I could lay gesso down and then throw the actual tea leaves into the gesso, and the tea leaves will sit into the gesso and harden. What will happen with the tea leaves 4 or 5 months down the road, I have no idea. It's just an idea. So it could be something to try. Okay, that takes care of that. What else could we do? Well, we've only got 15 minutes left, but if you're thinking about just ways that you can reuse material in your that's in your house. Now Leslie might be able to understand this stuff here. Oh my goodness. This one, and I'm missing, oh, and this one. I need to make room. I need to make room. So, it's all about what you can reuse for art. So, in here, I've got a container of all this paper towels, baby wipes. Donna, here's a dryer sheet that I painted on. I soaked it. I took it and I rubbed it into a tray of acrylic paint for an existing project, and now it's really hard. Really, really stiff. Baby wipe. Here's another, oh, here's these ones here. These baby wipes. Look at the beautiful randomness of this tie-dyed stuff. Okay. Old napkins. Okay. Now, here's one that I took. These are paper towels that I ripped into pieces because I can use the Japanese stab binding method, and I can actually create a journal out of these paper towels. Leslie's saying, I stained watercolor paper with green tea. It turned out very nice, but after about 7 months, the color faded onto the paper. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Now, you can get something called UV top coat from Golden. That might prevent the fading. It's an actual clear medium that has a UV protector in it. You could try that. That might stop it from fading. Could you now paint a picture on top of the blue dryer sheet? I sure could. Yep. Yep. Here's another one. The oxazine purple. But yeah, because the whole thing with the acrylic paint is really fantastic because it makes it really, really strong. It's layers and layers. It's just so much acrylic paint. Now, a watercolor doesn't work as well. This one's watercolor. This is actually, what is this? That's a baby wipe. That's a baby wipe. But watercolor doesn't make it stiff. Acrylics do. Acrylics make it really stiff. Now, how I do that, put this aside. Oh, put that aside. It's a good thing Chaos is sleeping in her little bed. Leslie, you'll love this one. We actually take cardboard pieces to make stamps. Oh, now I need. Uh-oh, where's my other dryer sheet? There it is. Now I'm going to, because I'm limited right now on time, I'm just going to take a piece of wax paper, which I will end up using for something else. This is just to protect my table. I will put the dryer sheet, okay, on top. Brand does not matter. And now if you want it, I might as well use this because I don't want to use anything new because it's the purpose of recycling them. So, okay, so you just stiffen it. Just going to stiffen it first. What's really cool with this, now I'm using the primer I found in the basement, but like I said, if you use leftover paint in a palette or whatever, you can even make it really watery and then wring it out, but you get your hands all covered and then you end up using water to wash your hands. But now with this here, because I did this on a sheet of wax paper, when this is dry, it'll peel off really easy. But then that wax paper won't have any more wax left on it. I'll use it for something else. That's it. That's all you have to do. You just make sure that you have enough liquid for it to soak through the dryer sheet. That's it. That's all you have to do. So now you instantly have another thing that you can paint on, and it's really, you know, something you don't have to buy. Now, there is something about saying, well, we need to support the economy, we need to buy stuff, you know, to support the economy. I'm going to leave that to the suits to keep the economy going. My goal is to have people create as much art as they can so they don't go insane. Okay? I have heard so many people coming to me saying, oh, I can't create art, you know, I can't afford to buy canvases because my husband lost his job. We don't have the money to buy paint and this and the other. Everything that I'm showing you, other than buying paint, because, you know, unless you take pigment and make it yourself, you can make paint out of pastels. You'll still need some type of ground though. Everything here will save you money, leaving you some funds maybe to buy some inexpensive paints. The art journals. You may not be able to see this. Okay, see all these? These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's like 20 art journals all in here. Okay? Because it's canvases I don't have to buy. I just simply don't have the room for them. Okay? Old sheets of watercolor paper. Dryer sheets. You can make a journal out of a dryer sheet like this. Okay? Just to go further, that if you like to do stamping and stuff, I'm going to put that down here. If you like to do stamping, don't buy stamps. Make them yourself. I raided Joe's workshop and got these pieces of MDF. I took cardboard, cut cardboard out and glued them with just cheap school glue on here. Okay, little bits of cardboard, bubble wrap. Okay, more cardboard. And this is all stuff that I typically, this would have gone in the blue bin, and this would have gone, the wood would have gone to the recycling center. We would just take the wood and we just dump it there. The lid off my gesso. It's a great thing to stamp for a big circle. You can actually use this as a template. Those tubes, Leslie, okay, you can use that to make circle stamps. Old bubble wrap. You can see how well this has been used. Okay, but because the acrylic has dried into it, it's a brand new texture. Okay, wine bottle wraps. Again, makes for amazing texture. Vitamin bottles, I wrap string and glued it. Roll it into your printing plate, and you can create some really interesting prints out of this, whether you want to use it for a background or whatever. Here's another little block that has two. This was Joe was making a jig. Dip that into paint and you'll get a stamp of a rough square with 2 holes. Okay, there's no need. I mean, yeah, you know, buy stamps but you know, when you buy stamps and stencils and all that stuff, it looks so commercial. Okay, somebody else, all you're doing is putting paint on it. Why not make something? Okay, why not make something that is truly your own? Okay, even on the back of this thing, I can take, you know, to really go even further, put some primer, and I'll just build and build and build. And that Lipton, that's the end for the tea. Oh, this would make a really neat little pocket too, you know, but I can put that there. Just so on top, it's about the texture. Let me just put a little bit more primer in there to glue that. There we go. It's texture, because once this dries, the liquid is being absorbed into the paper. It'll, think of when you're taking wood and staining wood, how the grain raises. And this is going to get all wrinkly and it's going to dry like that. And then I can actually paint on top of that. It's going to add texture. Netted onion bags. Ah, Leslie. Oh, where? My Smash book. I don't know if you can see that. That's a netted onion bag right there. And all I'm doing is I'm just building crap in here. It's just garbage, and all I'm doing is just experimenting and trying. I took paint with my hands, and it's just about different things that you can do to create stuff. Joe got me the commercial paper, and I put the stamp in here, but what I'm going to do with it, or a tag, I'm going to cover it. It's for the texture. Now I'm going to get an instant texture of a tag. See that? Okay, what else have I got in here? Oh, there was something in here I wanted to show you guys. Hang on, I have to find, where is the page? I have to find the page. I wanted to leave this for him. So what I did is I took some cardboard pieces and I took some leftover medium. The medium had paint on it, but I didn't want to throw it out. So I took the leftover medium, put it on here, glued some cardboard glued some cardboard pieces. Then I want to see what it would look like. Instead of ruining a canvas, I do everything in my journal. And then whether it's paint, I'm just using the primer I found in the basement. Oh, there was some watercolor in there. Look, it's turning blue. That's neat. What kind of texture can I get out of that? That's kind of cool. And then I can take, let's see. I can tear that. Put that on top. What can I get out of that? So I'm just taking I think it's a Clorox or Lysol wipe. Push that in there. Okay. Layer that. Oh, that's not too bad. So I can take some more primer. It's all about experimenting and seeing what you can create. I like the texture that I can get out of that. That wax paper that I used before, can I do anything with that? I could push that into the cardboard and all I get is the outline of the cardboard. I love stuff that's torn. And I get the outline. And then when this dries, I'll put a little bit more primer on it, or gesso, depending on what you're using. Okay? Then you can actually create a painting on top of this because you've got all this background. Okay? Leslie. But yes, you see, it's just a matter of just creating stuff. I mean, here's paint that was left over on my palette, and I just took. I went to Lowe's and we were looking at siding for a house, and they had these sample cards, and I just took paint. I just scraped it, leftover paint, onto thing. And these stupid tags, commercial tags. I'll just cover them up to create the texture. Okay, oh, but now I need wax paper between that. Better not do anything else in here. But this one here, this is my Smash journal, which I just do garbage stuff. Here's a acrylic transfer on Masonite in here. Okay, practicing with spray. I made my own ink spray using gum arabic and watercolor. I made my own ink spray. And I was just practicing on that. And oh, this one here, my journal pages stuck together. I ripped them, and I love the look of the rip. So there's all these different things that you can do. And then what I really like to do is clean my table because I'm getting paint over everything. And all I need now is for Chaos to jump on the table. She's sleeping so quietly. So like on this one here, this was basically, I did this project to, because some people didn't really want to bind their own journal. So I said, okay, well, get something commercial, but make it your own. So this was a Canson journal. I ripped off the coil, used 2 old shoestrings to tie it. Napkins, dryer sheets, paper towels, and everything is just layered. And then I took hibiscus tea, and the loose leaves. Put it on there, and I rubbed it and stained the paper. Okay, this is just something we did in a class. This was a class we did of abstract people on an existing background. Now this one here, paint that was dried on my palette, I scraped it off and I pushed it on here. It actually tore my paper a little bit. The paper towel tubes made my circles, create a beautiful background. Then these dots, I just used the ends of the paper and I just put paint over top of this, and the paint seeped through the holes. Okay. What else? Here I have, what is this? This looks like it's a little bit of, oh, you can't see, that's too dark. That's paper towel, you can't see that. Gift wrap paper. This is all just junk pages that didn't turn out so well. That's it for that. Then then I took an envelope that was for a birthday card and I gessoed it in there. Actually, I shouldn't open it because there's something in here that I don't want anybody to see. So I sealed that, but you just gesso everything together, and then, you know, you just basically, you can create stuff. To hold things down. And this was scrap paper that I had, and so I made a book and all leftover paint. And then in here I wanted to experiment. What could I do with silver? So medium corrugated paper. This is just from the packaging. Just took the stuff apart. Then in my book I had a big sheet that can open up full. I rock, hello. You know, and then there's, what else have I got here? Oh, that's why I was experimenting with the napkins using really watered down gesso. But it's all repurposed material. What else have I got here? That was ink that I was playing with. And then, let's see. Do I have anything else that I can show you? Oh, this one here. Okay, so this one here I had made, what was this made out of? This is made out of drawing paper, okay? Drawing paper to paint on, no, it doesn't really work. So I had bound it. I did my Coptic stitch on it, and then as I started to just throw paint down, the paper started to get really thin and it started to rip. So I got duct tape. So I got duct tape, wrapped it around, and then I took a black pen and went around, and it looks like leather straps. Duct tape, okay? Because you can get duct tape now in all these different colors. And I just wrote down my art journal for all my leftover crap. Okay? And this one here has a torn dryer sheet in it, torn napkin. I had leftover paint, and I just, with water, and I just dripped it onto here. I got myself a new pen, wanted to try it in here. I put the word waiting in here, hanging 10. Experimenting with the ink that I made with watercolors, and trying different pen things. And I'm gonna go, the Toronto Maple Leafs suck. And I always keep a journal with me when we're watching TV. I was doing, as an exercise, have you guys ever heard of Zentangles? And I shouldn't knock it because it's kind of cool, but it's just commercialized. Is doodling with patterns. So I started working with this, and I did this really neat thing while watching TV. And then I did these with my left hand. I'm right-handed, but I was doing these drawings with my left hand. And I wrote down, faces suck. This one here, sticking your tongue out, ha ha ha, faces still suck. And this one here, okay, this was what was this? This was a pen I don't know what this pen was, because I don't know what this is. I drew a squiggle, and then I wrote down what I did all day along that squiggle. Okay, and although you can't paint on drawing paper because the drawing paper is too thin, all I did was just find different ways that I could express myself by using something that's recycled into something that works for me. Okay, now you can't see this. I don't know if you can see the texture on that. This one here was not this is the Valspar primer. I put it on one sheet, went like this and pushed it and opened it up to get the texture. Then I threw paint down on here, leftover paint, and you can see there's still pages that are sticking together. Leftover paint, I just scraped it on. So it's everything about just repurposing everything. Everything that's in here, there's nothing other than the duct tape. There's just this, everything's just recycled. I did not buy anything new for anything in this book. It was stuff that I found. The only thing that the one thing that I did use tonight that was commercialized was that to make my plate, but I just took the plate that was headed for the garbage. So hopefully that gives you some ideas of what different things that you can do with your material. I didn't have enough time to show a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm doing a whole bunch of other video demonstrations, specific stuff that you can do by taking recycled material, like especially in here. If you guys ever get stickers in that, if you get stickers, I took the stickers off and basically just put them to Ava. And what I do is these things here, you take all this stuff, put it into your book because it creates texture. Then the plastic wrap stuff, you can use that to paint on. Little cutouts, came with this. These make great things to stencil. So let's say you want to get a certain effect, you can stencil on top of that. I don't buy that stuff. I repurpose everything. This was kind of cool. This is from a leftover tray, and I put paint on it and then push on it, and you get all these different effects. There's that. Let's see, what else have I got? That little book I showed. Oh no, I put it away. The little book I was showing for Mary out of a single piece of paper. Leftover Terraskin. Okay, it's too small to make an actual anything really out of, but I can use it with. I did the binding on it, and then Chaos chewed the string that was here, so I just used leftover duct tape. Okay. Where's the other book? Oh, it's in the other room. The flag book. That was actually kind of cool. So stuff that here we go. A paper towel that I created an abstract piece, and I wiped my hands on paper towel, and then I took that paper towel with clear media and put it on here. Created this. These are all journals in progress, and then I had a ribbon from a gift bag. Cut that up as my trim. And this is just one that started on, this is paper towel. Paper towel, paper towel. I use paper towel a lot to stiffen up the pages. Transparent paper, tracing paper. And this is the first time I actually used napkins as an effect, and then I can put gesso over this. You already saw that one. You already saw that one. Oh, the Terraskin journal, I've repurposed this I don't know how many times. But, it's all about reclaiming stuff and repurposing it. And, if I were to buy canvases to equal all the stuff that I have now, I mean, this whole room would be full of canvases. And this way now I don't, then whatever I create in the journals, something particularly nice. So if I, where's that piece? Was it in this one? I'm looking for the painting that we did. Oh, here's one here. In the journal, I created this nice semi-abstract of a green flower. I mean, I could take that either cut this out and frame it or use that as an idea. And I just used rice paper as the background. But it's the, oh, here we go. So, you know, and all this is just done from leftover watercolors and stuff, and just, you know, it really gets you creative, because when you're, oh, here's a little poochie. You know, I got from newspaper, SPCA newspaper, scanned his picture and then transferred the image onto a book. You know, so I think that where I really enjoy myself with using recycled material, because if something goes wrong, who cares? What's the big whoop? If you're doing art, if you're experimenting with art on a surface or a support that you've paid like $10 for, you're going to be a little bit more careful. You may not want to experiment as much. But if you're working on something that's been recycled and reclaimed, you know, using coffee grounds to stain your paper, and using, heck, red wine to stain your paper, you know, all that stuff. If it goes wrong, who cares? Whatever mess you've made, use that to create another piece of art. I mean, it's just, and what I find is that when doing it that way, your art takes on a life of its own, and it grows into something. Gone are the days where I can create a painting in like 30 minutes. I don't do that anymore, because I feel like it's like an assembly line type of thing. Now it's just a matter of taking what you're feeling at that time and putting that into your art. And whether it's, you know, going through the blue bin and taking stuff that I can use. The green bin, I'm a little bit more careful, because that's food product, it's organic stuff, so I'm a little bit more careful of what I do with that. But like dead leaves and stuff, I mean, I can take this and I can actually, with gel medium, take that, glue it onto whatever, you know, to have something like this as part of the actual art piece. So it all depends on how you feel at the time. And by working in art journals, you can literally build your art over a span of many journals. Like, you can work on 10 pieces at a time. It doesn't matter about the room, because you're experimenting and creating something in the journal. You know, I have enough journals now to be equivalent to 1,500 canvases. Can you imagine how much room 1,500 canvases would take? Even if they were just 8 by 10? And all the art journals are on my shelf. You know, I don't have to have 1,500 canvases. You know, they're all, there we go. They're all here. And I still have a whole bunch of others in the other room. So that's about it. It's now 20 to 10. So our Earth Day event is over. Hopefully you've gotten some ideas of what you can use to repurpose, to create some art. Now I have to go wash my hands. If you're going to use household primer to stiffen up pages or whatever to create art on, wash your hands right away, or use something like painter's glove or something like that. Oh, look who's here. She was good, eh? She didn't bug once. Oh, I know why. That's why. Look, kitty cat, string. Now, does anybody have ideas of what they would use for creating art material out of something that's recycled? Not going to the store to buy something, but like, is there something right now that's in your blue bin that you could use to create art? Do you have something that's already available that you could use? Kitty cat. Kitty cat. Ouchie. Can you guys still hear me? What? Chaos. Oh, thinking. Okay. Because if you've got something, and if I have it here, I can kind of show you my process. Hey, Barb, have you ever thought about making your own paper by putting scraps of paper? Already doing it. Already doing it. That's going to be another class. We're going to be taking, we're basically taking paper to create our own paper, to make a journal out of our own paper. Yeah, that's already something, because I used to do a lot when I was in art school, and it's when going to art school, everything was fine art, and I kind of lost my way with the creative aspect of it. And even over the last few years, everything's been so commercialized with commissions and everything. I felt like an assembly line, creating, artwork that everybody's telling me, I want this. And yeah, it's great because of the money, but I kind of lost my way with the creativity. So, but here's another one with torn pieces of paper. Now this is just drawing paper. This is just drawing paper, and I was playing with doodling, which are kind of called Zentangles. I was even playing with fonts. I had a pen that was drying out, and I dipped it in water to get some really neat writing. And then it transferred through, which was kind of cool. Then it kept transferring. So I just basically kind of this is for my Fontaholic class that I'm going to be writing. We're going to create just basically lettering. I can feel the texture. Oh, this is stuff that I purposely put through. Hi. Hello. Hi, Moo. Yeah, making paper is a lot of it. Yeah, you need room to do that, and a blender dedicated just for that. Harrison took his blender, which has the handles broken on it. So what I'm going to do is in 2 weeks, when we bring Chaos over, we have to take her to the vet first to be sedated for that trip. But I'm going to buy him a blender and take back the broken one, and I'll use that for the class. Donna, do you put anything on it to preserve the bowls? The ones that I've made, because they're not food safe. I just put varnish. I just put varnish on it. It's all about the layers. But even with that paper, you can also embellish other stuff in it, like you can stick stuff to it. But with the bowls, I've made bowls out of the fajita shells. You can do the same thing. So you just take, I put a little bit of oil on the fajita shell, put it into a stack between a metal bowl, the fajita shell, push another metal bowl in there, and you bake it like that, and it stays. Same type of thing. Barb, now just mold over another bowl. Turns out like an egg carton kind of texture. I've made masks like that too. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. But it's all about repurposing stuff. Newspapers. I mean, all you have to do is add a little bit of acrylic paint to it to change the color. If you don't like the gray look. Now, there's a paint company out there. I'm not going to mention the brand, but they actually have in little containers. Oh, hi, Chaos. Like, little jars of paper paste type of thing where you can take that to make, and you spread it out to create paper. Why? Like, why would you do that? Make your own paper. Oh, she found the leaf. Better put that away. They're great for decorative as well. Oh, do I have anything in this one? Do I have anything in this one? Kitty cat. Whoops. Oh, I just ripped a page. Whoopsie. Yep. That's where the hibiscus tea leaves, I use that. Anything that's to create texture, Donna, that's what you can use. Anything to create texture. Like even the filter, coffee filter, take that out and I could line the bottom of the bowl with that. And it's all beautifully stained. I can use that. Joe's going to kill me when I try to figure out how to put that in the green bin. Yeah, she's just sitting here waiting. She wants the string. So if I throw out an idea, let's say if I gave you if you had a ribbon, gesso, you have a journal. Okay, you have a journal. You have, oh, she's all crouched down like a chicken. If you had a journal or a paper, whatever. If you had a ribbon, gesso, and a dead leaf from a plant, could you think of something that you could make? A piece of art that you could make out of that? So this is about just the ideas, different ideas that you could use to create art out of recycled material. Are you stuck, kitty cat? Are you stuck, kitty cat? She's having fun. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to let you guys go. So I'll have this video up on the website for viewing. And so class next Tuesday is all about gelatin monoprinting. So I will leave you guys to it. Thank you for joining me. And I just looked out my door and the lights are still off downstairs. So Joe's made me happy. All right, you guys. So if you have some ideas or if you've created some art out of recycled material, post it on artplace.ca. I'd love to see some of the art that you've created out of what I call blue box stuff. So I will let you guys go and have yourselves a great weekend. All right. Good night.